Welcome to Local Matters. Today we begin with School on Wheels of Massachusetts, serving students in kindergarten through college impacted by homelessness by providing school supplies, one-on-one tutoring, and mentoring. Julie invited founder Cheryl Opper via Zoom to talk about the organization's mission and how they've had to adapt in 2020. Julie?
Welcome, Cheryl. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
It's wonderful to have you. Now, you're the founder of School on Wheels, Massachusetts. Can you tell us a little bit about the mission of the organization and what services you provide?
Okay. School on Wheels of Massachusetts provides academic, social, and emotional support for students impacted by homelessness, kindergarten through college in our state.
Okay. Did you start this here, or was this started somewhere else in the country?
I started School on Wheels of Massachusetts in 2004 after reading an article about the program that started in 1993 in Los Angeles, California. And then there's one other program in Indianapolis, Indiana that started in 2001.
Okay. Now, it's called School on Wheels, is it literally on wheels?
Well, the reason why it's called School on Wheels is we go to the children's temporary homes, which are shelters, motels, and we provide academic support services for them. Currently, we also provide, and we have been doing this for a while, is that there's a lot of families that are impacted by homelessness living in transitional apartments. So there might be 2 or 3 families living in an apartment. And because we wouldn't go into their private residence, is that we have learning centers set up at different locations, and then we would pay for the bus transportation to get them there. So there's many different ways that families who are impacted by homelessness are doubled up with other family members or friends. We've had people we have had students that live out of their cars or a tent. And it's just, there's many different ways that you can be homeless.
Right. And I know in this area in Massachusetts, the homeless population is so much more prevalent than people realize.
Absolutely. And the latest statistic is there's 24,000 homeless children in our state of Massachusetts in public schools, K through 12.
That's just uncanny. That's an uncanny figure. That's very disturbing. You've retired. How does it feel to have the School on Wheels grow from what you started to what it is now? And how are you still involved?
Well, I started it in 2004 out of my home in Easton, Massachusetts, and my basement was filled with backpacks and school supplies. We did our tutor trainings around my kitchen table. We started out with 2 shelters, 20 kids a week, gave out maybe 50 backpacks for that year. And, now that's 2004. And now here in 2020, we've given out over 6,000 backpacks. And last year we tutored over 275 kids, and it's grown quite a bit. And I retired a couple of years ago, and since then I've stayed involved. Obviously, I'm going to be their biggest cheerleader forever. These kids are just so amazing, and they need our support, and they're so alone. And most of the families are single moms. Can only imagine the challenges that they're facing, and so I would, I'm still doing the donating backpacks and school supplies and rounding up my friends to do the same. I just had my birthday in August, and instead of asking for birthday or asking people to make a donation of a backpack fully stocked to give to our children, because because of COVID, we lost a lot of our school supply donations that we normally have. So that was just one way that I could stay involved. But I have to say that the staff is absolutely amazing, and everybody's so dedicated to this mission. And it's really our community volunteers and the businesses that really make this possible. It wouldn't be possible without that.
Can you just take me through, like, a student that you get that they're in preschool or kindergarten or first grade? Would you see them all the way through the next years and years and years if they remain in this homeless state in one way or another?
Well, even after you move out of the shelter, our services still continue. So you don't have to stay homeless to continue with our services. Is that once you are in our program, once you're a School on Wheels student, you're always a School on Wheels student. So we have have students who have been with us for long, long periods of time. We've got students who, and families that stay in touch with us. And, if they move, and we have families who are homeless and then they move into housing and then they go back into homelessness and might move into a shelter and then they're back. But if they, want to be a part of our program, we want to continue that. And we have students who have been with us for long periods of time and now are in our college program and getting ready to graduate. And, they started with us in elementary school.
That must be so rewarding to you to see a student that travels like that with you all the way to the end.
Absolutely. And I've been at many college graduations and I've moved lots of college kids in. And School on Wheels is a very holistic, hands-on approach. And that's why it's so successful, is it's not just a backpack with the scientific calculator. It's the backpack and the tutor and the mentor and the ongoing support that these kids need. And it's all about the relationships, and it's really getting involved with every aspect. If they need science project materials, we make sure they get the science project materials. There's so many layers that people really don't understand in regards to the homelessness and what the challenges are that our kids face, and even more so now with the COVID.
Now, with COVID and a lot of students having to learn remotely, how have you adapted the way you have your teachers or your mentors work with these students?
Right. So it's been challenging. We have Alvarium is a foundation that has done a wonderful, provided a wonderful gift to School on Wheels, that they did a match for match in regards to Chromebook. We have provided 120 Chromebooks for the children in the shelters, thanks to the Alvarium Foundation and our wonderful donors. And we are setting up online tutoring. We've got that set up and it's going to start this week. The challenges are that not all of the shelters have Wi-Fi service. And so we're trying to, through School on Wheels, make sure that that's set up so that the tutors can do the online tutoring with them. For our tutoring program, we match a student up with a particular tutor. And so they have that one-on-one relationship, and that's really important. But you also have these children have screen fatigue, and they're not just missing, seeing their tutor in person, but that relationship building. It's definitely not the same when you're doing it online. And so we really miss seeing the kids. We miss them terribly, and the tutors do as well. But we're excited that we're able to continue to stay in touch with them during this time.
And what is the Bridge Mentoring Program?
So the Bridge Mentoring Program, the Bridge Program works with students in middle school, all the way through college or a vocational training program. So the Bridge name came because when kids are in school, we are notified through guidance counselors, teachers, through the McKinney-Vento, the homeless liaisons, of which students need support. But once those students graduate high school, they lose that support. They don't have that. And so we bridge that gap for them to make sure that they have what they need and in college applications. And so we match these students up with a mentor that was going to help follow them through this whole process and help them from anywhere from moving the students into the dorm room to helping to negotiate the financial aid package. All of our college students, we have 65 students in college right now, and all of them are living on campus and are able to stay on campus through the holiday breaks, thanks to our wonderful coordinator, Jonathan Vincent, who negotiated that with all the colleges that these kids need a place to have a safe place to stay. And these college students now are able to be on campus and to have that housing stability during this time while they're pursuing their education.
That's terrific. That is just wonderful, and that's a lot more than some of the other college students who are not allowed to remain on campus. So that's a nice safety net for these kids. And how can parents apply for this service?
So it's mostly most of our referrals come from the teachers and the guidance counselors, and there's each of the school districts have a McKinney-Vento homeless liaison. And so it's not really the parents that are applying. The shelter directors that we are partnering with, we have 18 different program sites. those shelter directors will notify us if a new family moves in and the student is in middle school, upper grades of middle school, high school, and that's how we get our referrals. Also, a lot of our referrals, Jonathan said, comes from college students that are in college and meet other students who they start to talk with that are experiencing the same kind of challenges of being homeless or couch surfing. And so it's the peer to peer more so than the parents reaching out to us.
That's wonderful. Cheryl, thank you so much for explaining the School on Wheels program. It's amazing. Everyone will be able to see a lot more information about it through your website. What a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing you have done. Thank you so much, especially now. It's so needed. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Back to you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Julie and Cheryl. To learn more about School on Wheels of Massachusetts, visit sowma.org.